So, HBO Max has officially released the first 2 episodes of Velma. For those of you who are blissfully unaware, HBO Max announced a new adult animated comedy in February of 2021. This series was going to make some major changes to the Scooby-Doo format. The main character is going to be Velma, Scooby isn't even in the show, and Shaggy's going to go by his first name, Norville. Oh, and he's black. Not that that matters, because it genuinely doesn't. So I actually forgot the show was coming out until a few days ago when the plot synopsis went viral on Twitter. Allow me to read this for you. At Crystal Cove High School, Daphne is a popular mean girl orphan who deals drugs because of a dark family secret. Her boyfriend, Fred, personifies mediocre white richness. His mansion holds a dark secret, and he has teeny little privates, a subject of much conversation. Shaggy has become Norville, a school newspaper striver friend-zoned by his beloved Velma. He worries he's a beta male. Remember that lame humor concept from 20 years ago? Anywho, the 2 first episodes came out yesterday, and I watched them. I'm not going to do a long beat-by-beat breakdown for fear of copyright, but it should be fun. Also, if you like the show, don't let my opinion sway yours. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean you also don't have to like it. Your opinions are entirely valid, and no one can take that away from you. That being said, I think the show's really not funny. When I heard this was an adult animated comedy, I might have jumped to some conclusions. I thought it was going to be a really bland, unfunny, and overall just boring show. Then I heard the show is being produced by Charlie Grandy, who wrote, I think, 8 episodes of The Office and a bunch of SNL skits. And those are 2 shows I already find pretty unfunny, so my feelings already began to sour. This was not helped by the fact that a minute and 35 seconds into the show, we watched 2 cockroaches come out of a bag of chips and start fucking. I don't think I want to cover the immense amount of shit that I personally found unfunny because 1, comedy's subjective, and 2, at that point I would just be re-uploading the episode. Cause, I mean, who knows, maybe someone wants to watch Fred go from looking like a toddler to looking like Hitler because of a 5-second thunderstorm that literally appears out of nowhere. But that just isn't my style of humor. Okay, let's talk about some characters before we talk about plot. Velma in this show, I think, is the closest to her original character. Her plot thing is that her mom went missing because of a mystery solving, although they kind of explicitly state that that isn't the case. I mean, would you want to stay in this household as a struggling author? But then Velma decides that she did in fact go missing because of the mystery solving stuff, so just forget everything from the end of the first episode. Also, she has schizo moments every time she tries to solve a mystery because of guilt, I think. I think the show's trying to run with the Velma super snarky and mean thing from Mystery Inc. because it's the only thing they do with her character. But you know, the writers from Mystery Inc. are good. She's constantly cutting people off, she's really judgmental, she jumps to conclusions regarding a case and got Fred put on trial with almost no real evidence even though she's supposedly a better detective than Daphne's adoptive gay moms. I just don't really like her at this point, and to be fair, we're getting 8 more episodes, so maybe that'll sway my opinion. Either way, let's go to the next character. This character does nothing for me. She's also just a generally mean person, like to the point where she fist fought someone in the school showers because they said they liked nudity on TV. Which, no, I'm not showing that footage on YouTube, I'm sorry, but I like having a channel. So the lore here is that her and Velma used to be friends before she got hot or whatever. But I mean, they make out at the end of the 2nd episode, so clearly the rift isn't that big. But in all honesty, nothing this character did entertained me, which in an adult animated comedy is the point. And nothing this character did was funny to me either, which in an adult animated comedy is the point. She's just kinda there. Fred has a tiny little dick. Okay, no, I should go back and talk about Fred. Fred also isn't very funny. His entire personality boils down to, I'm rich, I'm hot and ugly people are worth nothing, and I haven't hit puberty. And then they actually make that relevant to the plot. I mean, come on guys, he has a tiny little penis. I think the only joke they had him do that didn't relate to one of the 3 character traits I talked about was this one time when they had him throw a paper cutter like Captain America's shield, ending with it cutting someone's leg off. And it was just shock humor. I think that he is the best writing when it comes to the plot so far though. Just about everything that happens to and with him has something to do with his character traits. Yes, those character traits were pulled out of a hat seemingly at random, but they do use them to push the plot forward. Hopefully the others will get writing like this later, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But this should be the average for the show. I mean, Fred's a little below average, because he has a small penis. Hey, where's the stock line? Ow! Dick! Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, so this one makes me a little mad. So you know how the other characters have at least some traits for their previous incarnations? Not him. Not Norville. The only consistent factors with the character are the clothes he wears and his name. He's just a new character, which is fine, but Shaggy's one of the most important and popular characters in the Scooby-Doo pantheon, which guess who else isn't in the show? I mean, he makes snack reviews? That seems like it could be in character with Shaggy. But yeah, Norval's just a dude who's in love with Velma. I mean, he hates potheads and he runs a school newspaper. I mean, that's it. The show just isn't doing much yet. The show tries to make jokes, but none of them really work for me. And I mean, my sense of humor might just be busted, but not one? I genuinely don't think I've ever been deadpan for a consistent 40 minutes straight. I should probably talk about the actual plot just quickly. Surprise! There's a dead girl with her brain removed in Velma's locker. So the police, who happen to be Daphne's parents, tell Velma if she can't prove her innocence in a day, then they're gonna charge her with the murder. Some shenanigans ensued, then Norville tells Velma that he knows why Dead Girl 1 was murdered. Apparently she saw something she wasn't supposed to in the bathroom of a restaurant, and she took a picture of it with Norville's camera. After hearing a random clue from Daphne, she pieces together that Fred probably has the camera. So she breaks into his house, and then finds out that Fred's legs are silky smooth. Turns out, he hasn't hit puberty. So he has a little penis! He's then arrested for the murder of Dead Girl 1. Right before the episode ends, Norville and Velma find Dead Girl 2 in the trash at Velma's house. So Velma's dad, he's a lawyer, is hired by Fred's family as a defense attorney, much to Velma's disappointment. While the lawyer B-plot is happening, Velma asks Daphne for the cold case file on her mom's disappearance, to which she says $500. So Velma and Daphne sell drugs for an episode. These drugs are called Jeepers, Jinkies, Zoinks, and the Mystery Machine if you're curious. So the defense is essentially that Fred is such a blithering man-child that he couldn't have possibly murdered the two girls, but at the last second he gets so embarrassed that he does some psycho shit and the judge calls him guilty. At the end of the episode, Velma has a nightmare, and Daphne tries to kiss her and snap her out of it, which Norville sees. He didn't plot this episode, but it amounted to damn near nothing, so it's not important. So yeah, that's Velma for now. I don't think it's particularly funny. I could get better, hopefully. I'm gonna keep up with it, just for, you know, scholar's sake. I mean, I'd like if it did. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and share it, and let me know if you want me to continue making videos on the series as it comes out. Also, comment below what you thought of Velma, because I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about it. But that's gonna be it for me today. I'm Knightley. You've been incredible. I'll see you later. Peace.